to the Smart Property Investment Show with your host, Phil Tarrant. This podcast is brought to you by Defence Housing Australia. Invest in a Defence Housing Australia property and they'll pay your rent, manage your tenants, and even take care of day-to-day maintenance. Rental income is guaranteed for up to 12 years. Your rent is reviewed annually to market value and will never fall below the starting rent. So all you have to do is sit back today and look forward to tomorrow. To find out more, call 133-DHA. That's 133-342. Or visit dha.gov.au/lookforward.
G'day, welcome to the show. Phil Tarrant here, property investor and also the editor of smartpropertyinvestment.com.au. Thanks for joining us today. I've asked a couple of guys that were on the show about a month ago to come back on, Lauren Kern and Lena Lindley. When we finish off those guys, we're chatting about a purchase that they made only 2 days prior up in Queensland, southeast Queensland, sorry. So guys, welcome back to the show. Lauren, Lena, good to see you.
Good to be back.
How are you going?
Really, really well. So just to give everyone a bit of a rehash, I can't remember exactly what number podcast it was, but if you check back about a month or so ago, we're chatting about you've got a portfolio. It's about $1.7 million, $1.3 million of debt on that. So you've got about $400,000 in equity in there, but you haven't had it valued for a little while, so you probably think it's got a bit more in there. Considering the property markets, you're probably right. 2 properties in New South Wales, 2 properties in Queensland.
Correct.
As I said, most recent one you bought about a month or so ago. You guys embarked on a investment journey together, and it sounds like you've been really successful. Some trials and tribulations along the way.
Yeah.
Some regrets in terms of potentially selling some stuff, but not really any massive problems because you've reinvested that and you kept growing your portfolio. What I'm really interested to chat about today is just money, the financial component of investing. So that consists of a lot of different things. There's, you need to be able to get a mortgage.
Yep.
So that process, but then also the cash flow management of your properties. So you've got 4 mortgages.
Yeah.
Are they all with the same bank or are they different?
No, 3 are with one bank,
yeah.
and 1 with another.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. And do you use a mortgage broker?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
I
do.
use a mortgage broker. Yes,
Is
definitely.
that like a local person?
Referred to by from our buyer's agent.
Okay, give him a plug. I don't know
Yeah.
who it is. The mortgage broker? Okay, Patrick Chidamara from Choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from Choice. Our buyer's agent is Pure Property Investment Pool.
Okay.
Yep.
So your mortgage broker does all your financing for you. You just give them
Correct.
pay slips and all that sort of
Yep,
stuff, and
exactly.
they sort of and have you found it has it been a problem getting finance for you guys as you've sort of grown your portfolio?
Our first couple of properties were fine, and then we got stopped, and the bank was saying no more. Our affordability was, wasn't there. Unfortunately, yeah, we were at back then we're probably only at about 120 grand
yeah.
combined household income. So, and at that stage, I think we were close to maybe $900,000, maybe a little bit more worth of debt.
Yeah,
so,
you get towards that $1 million and banks start getting a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
yeah.
that's
So,
right.
that's when we started looking interstate, when we started looking in southeast Queensland and using a buyer's agent, we went with a mortgage broker to get us the next loan. So, I don't know what they do, but for some reason they're able to.
They make magic happen. But they
make it
also
so-
understand. They understand
Yeah.
the aggressiveness and where we want to be. And I guess they look at what works and who's going to come on that journey with us, I guess.
Yeah, so I think that's where, so I think it was quite funny because the bank was saying no and the mortgage broker was saying yes. So then our third property ended up still going with our same bank, but then the last property that we bought a month ago, that had to go through a different bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your mortgage broker steered you through that process?
I think when you're first buying your first couple of properties, you have no idea what's going on. You're relying on the bank to tell you the next steps, and sometimes they tell you last minute that there's paperwork due and it isn't on file and all that sort of crap. But I think that the mortgage brokers, they're not taking a dime out of your pockets. They're taking it from the bank. So they're working for you, and I definitely think it's a service that everyone should have. And we've gotten a better rate since we've used a mortgage broker, and I will continue to use a mortgage broker.
Has it made you more comfortable with the whole process as well? So it's taken a lot of the sort of stress or fears out of it.
Yep.
Having some surety that you know you've got some capacity, you can go and borrow.
It's like everything. You pay professionals to do jobs that you don't know how to do, and just like renovations, that we've learnt to use professionals instead of winging it on YouTube ourselves.
I'm a pretty good tiler though, just in case anyone needs tiling.
We use a mortgage broker now instead of trying to wing it ourselves, and we use a buyer's agent now and try to wing it ourselves. You pay the right people to do the jobs that you don't know how to do, and they do it better, and it's just so much less stressful.
Stuff
of course.
as well along the way, which is great.
It's definitely, oh God, never again. So mortgage brokers, 100%. Get you the better rate.
That's cool.
Rate. Of course, in the long run.
Sound advice. So last time we caught up, you guys, I think I announced live on air that an engagement has taken place.
Correct. So you did.
But you guys have been together for 7 years.
Yeah.
And I know I've known Lauren for many more years than that as a family friend. But
yes.
So you guys have grown together as a couple, a partnership, and you've probably also grown in terms of your financial savviness and all that sort of stuff. Has there been sort of times when you've been, going down the path of building wealth through investment that you've had different ideas about money and your sort of appreciation of debt or your thoughts towards debt, or would you say that you're very similar in the way you see the world?
I think anyone who wants to forge wealth needs debt. I mean, I don't think you can get anywhere without, especially in property, if you are worried about the debt that you hold. I think, I think people get funny about how much they have in debt, and I think it's silly because it's the only way that you build wealth.
Do you guys ever sit there and start shitting yourself thinking, we've got all this, we've got $1.3 million to the banks and stuff?
Never.
No.
Never.
Not really, no.
No.
I just think...
No.
Yeah,
because we have a substantial buffer in the bank, right?
And that's key. That is key. You need to have the buffer so that you are confident enough. And if... if for whatever reason the house isn't tenanted or a hiccup comes along, you're safe. And I think that's probably why the fear isn't there, and having that joint understanding of, okay, well, this is, as you said, we have been on a journey. We didn't start out having a joint bank account. There were moments where we had to sit there and go, all right, well, this is where we want to go. We need to do this together. How are we going to make that happen? What contributions are we going to do? And I think straight off the bat, we both just said, as long as we do it completely equally, there's never really any room for error. And that's what made myself, and I'm assuming Lenny, you can pitch in wherever you want, feel very confident about the fact that this is where we're going. And then again, the next conversation was, all right, well, we need some sort of, security blanket here, and that's what that buffer is. So ensuring that that's always there. Lena can go on about the money management in a moment, I'm sure, but that's kind of where my anxieties completely fall away.
So you're cool. So in terms of a buffer, so say if you've got 3 investment properties and your principal place of residence, so you can sort your mortgage out, no worries where you live. But if everything went wrong and say all 3 properties that you have as investments didn't have tenants in there, you could carry that for a couple of months without it'd hurt, obviously. But
we'd probably carry it for maybe 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that was something that I learnt as well. When we got to about the third property, because we have all our properties are separate. So all the bank accounts for each of the properties are separate, because I always wanted to gauge how each property is doing.
True representation.
So I wanted,
which is good. It's good in terms of management.
It is. I don't know how we'll go later on when we have more.
Because more work
and there is definitely, I'm always checking. I'm always double checking that there's enough money in everything I'm transferring money over on all that sort of stuff. But
it's a perpetual sort of
I know, right? It's all like
a little puzzle game.
And I think that has been, that was a big learning curve for me. The first 2 were fine because And then we got to the third, and I was like, oh, I'm getting through. I have 3 accounts,
juggle.
and it was more to juggle. And yeah, I mean, I definitely made a couple of errors, in like money going into negative accounts, and that's when I learned that we needed a buffer in all of those accounts, and then we have a buffer on the side as well. So,
did you have that sitting like an offset to try and bring your mortgage repayments down?
Yeah. So there is an offset account, and then which basically comes off our most expensive property, like
the one that costs us the most.
Costs us the most, which is our Sydney city apartment. So
how do you manage? How do you keep track of your properties? Do you have got like a spreadsheet that you use, or everyone's got their own little system that works for them? How do you do it?
I sit down. We sit down every 2 weeks, and I sit down and I pay the bills, and I have it in my phone of what I want the property to be worth next year, the year after, 5 years from now.
It's a rudimentary spreadsheet in notes.
In notes, and that's how we do it. But myself, I do it the hard way. I don't let my agent pay all the bills for the strata and the water and everything that goes along with that.
I used to do that, and I just went. I got sick of getting like last notice type bills, and I just went. You guys sort it out. I don't want to know about it.
I think oh man, we like the points, right? We like the points.
So you pay everything on credit card.
Pay everything with the Amex, and then transfer it over. So
helps with the travel.
You've got to be diligent with that though.
Diligent.
If you can do that, great. If a lot of people they let it build up this massive bill, and they end up the interest you pay is sort of
No, don't do anything like that. So I sit down every 2 weeks, and we pay all the bills and then transfer the money over. And I mean, it is definitely a harder way to do it, and I'm always open to suggestions or how to evolve, right? And I understand that the longevity of me doing it sitting down every 2 weeks probably will not always be the case, And I think that eventually when we get to more properties that I will have to, give those reins over, but I don't like that. I like to be in control
the level
of that.
Comfort. So, you mentioned beforehand that when you went down the first half of getting mortgages, but now it's like, no worries,
no problems,
it's just experience.
Yeah, exactly right.
Good. So you bought your last place about a month or so ago. Where was that again?
Din with Lauren. I can never pronounce it. Dinmore. So it's like the commuter belt of Ipswich, southeast Queensland. Yeah.
When do you intend to buy again, and when do you hope to buy again?
I would love to be buying another Sydney apartment. I would love to be buying in Parramatta before everything happens. I understand that Sydney's we're in a 2 or 3 year lull. I would like to do that. However, I don't think that the bank will allow us another $400,000 or $500,000 loan straight away. So we'll probably have to, buy another Queensland $250,000 property.
Which you're not going to go too wrong with at the moment, be fair, where you are investing.
Of course.
Right, yeah.
So, we'll probably go down that path the next one.
But I guess it's following the cycles too.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest, Sydney's gone through its heyday and it's peaking at the moment to the point where, for us...
It's starting to soften a little bit, some of the prices.
That's right, exactly right. So, we go where it's affordable for us and where it makes sense for us.
Which is a very sensible way to invest. And are you sort of like squirreling money away to pay for your next deposit, or is the idea that you will just take some of the equity out of one of these houses that you have now to pay for the next?
No.
Deposit?
So our last 2 places have been our money put away. That's savings.
Yeah.
So we haven't pulled any money out of our properties in probably 2 years. Yeah, about 2 years.
And that's what you do again? Will you try and pay with savings?
If we topped up our city apartment loan, it'd just make the mortgage higher again, and it's just as good as the capital growth is, I just don't want us to be in a situation where we're back to paying $500 or $600 a month in the difference between the rent and what the mortgage is. So I would hope, as we move forward and we renovate and sell our primary residence, I'd say that when we move to our next Cronulla unit and we buy and renovate and sell, we sell our the one that we're in at the moment, we'll put away $50,000 and put that towards the next deposit for. I'd say that'll. I don't know. We haven't really looked at that yet. We only just
the beauty about property though, if you're investing in the right properties in the right place, it's not a rush. You don't have to do anything.
No.
Let time, do its work, and that is get these things growing in value. And, where you have been investing, it's been showing some really good growth over the last couple of years. And the indicators are, and a lot of the reports that come out recently is that, that area is sort of, Logan, Ipswich type way is the suburbs which are growing, the most, quickest in the marketplace right now. So if you don't do anything, you're going to be cool.
Yeah. And I'd like to get in there and probably get another property. Whether I just want to outlay, I don't want to pull any money out of our properties that we have I don't want to top up any of the loans from the New South Wales property at the moment. Yeah. So at the moment we still like to travel for 5 weeks a year. That's our problem, we don't. It's
not a problem.
We're not giving out. But we don't. Look, I don't want to give up our lifestyle to completely be taken
just staying
over
backpackers hostels rather than 5-star resorts.
You met me.
Come on. When we caught up beforehand, you spoke about some of the mistakes that you've made.
Yep.
And to be honest with you, they're not really bad mistakes, but one was, in reflection, you would have liked to have not sold one of the properties that you sold, but I guess the upside is that you use that money to invest further. Another one was that you invested in a block of units, and it was in a company title, and you had a lot of challenges and stuff with that. Just in terms of how you guys are investing now, sort of what sort of structure are you investing in? Is it just as individuals, or how does that work with you guys?
As in the two of us together?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're all in both our names with tenants in common.
And is that advice you got from like an accountant or something, or is he just?
No, I mean, like at the end of the day, it's best for it to be in both our names, because if something happens to either of us, then it just goes to the other, and we're binding beneficiaries too. So obviously, because we're same sex, and the laws don't necessarily reflect that we are in a partnership. Yeah. It's all a little bit still that
there are a few little hurdles, and you just need to safeguard yourself.
It's just better. I originally started looking at it as maybe it would be better to separate out the loans, because we'd probably get more. I don't know if the bank would give us more, but
the bank views you like just any other two people just investing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is, it sounds like a really good structure.
I'm always very cautious to safeguard, what either of us would have if the other one wasn't around too. Yep, so I'm very.
That's good. So you want to keep buying? That's really
definitely.
Cool. Don't know when you're going to do it yet?
No, don't know yet.
You're getting some. Is the advice from your buyer's agent to keep looking in that particular area? Is that where he'd be recommending?
That's where he's recommending at the moment.
And you got a house last time, wasn't
we got
it?
We got a house. I like the fact that we've got land now. That makes me happy.
That's good.
Instead of
no renovation work to do.
No renovation. No, it's got tenants. I mean, it'll
probably need a facelift.
It probably needs a bit of a facelift, but it's
not immediate.
Yeah, not immediate. So. It just depends. We haven't gone to the mortgage broker yet to ask how much money we can borrow next, or if we can borrow next, or what we need to do to borrow next. But at this stage, definitely always moving forward. It's like I enjoy property, so I'm always looking, always like reading, always. Yeah.
So what sort of stuff do you read?
I read Smart Property.
Good. Is that smartpropertyinvestment.com.au?
Yes, it sure is.
That would be
definitely is.
Just anything, really.
I love John McGrath. Yeah. Like, I love his Tuesday blogs with Swizzler. I'll just give him a blog. I feel like he's my mentor. Or even though he doesn't.
If you're going to have a property mentor, he's probably the right guy to have.
Even though he doesn't know it, he's definitely my property mentor. So, I read. Yeah.
And do you read sort of for like knowledge or to challenge an idea you have, or do you read it for motivation? Like sometimes do you feel like you need to give yourself a kick up the backside because you feel you might be waning and losing a little bit of, directional control, or is it, why do you do that?
No. I enjoy property. So I read it because I enjoy it. I read it for knowledge, but it's definitely not a chore for me. Yeah.
It's more of a passion.
It's definitely a passion for me, and I think to be in property investment, you got to enjoy some part of it.
What do you enjoy? Do you enjoy making money, or do you enjoy the idea that you can do it and do it well?
Yeah, I love money.
Yeah, which is good. It helps with goal setting. If you want to keep travelling, well, we originally spoke when we got together last time about sort of long-term goals and stuff, and having a comfortable retirement. And it's why most of us I invest in property. I don't want to work for it. Well, I like working. I'd like to work forever, but I like to have the choice that I don't have to work.
No. Yeah. We want to live on the water. Want a unit on the water. So we will get there. if we just keep on plugging away. I have every faith that we will, in 10 years we'll have our waterfront. Fingers crossed it might have a very small mortgage or no mortgage at all. And that'll be through renovation sell. And we have that availability because we don't have children. We are not going to have children. So it's, we can move every year, and that's a strategy that is fine with us. And we're as stressful as renovation is, we do it really well together. Yeah.
We enjoy it. We have no problem renovating, living in it, enjoying that renovation for a while.
Yeah,
it is our investment and moving along. Yeah. So
it's really it sounds like you guys got your shit sorted out, which is really good. It's
nice to hear.
You know where you're going. You've got a shared vision, and you're making it happen. So you should be really proud of what you guys have achieved. So
Thank you.
It's really good.
Yeah.
But we've run out of time. I'm sorry. Let's get you back. Next time you buy a house, I want you back in there. And I want you to know exactly where you bought.
Okay.
Instead of, it sort of starts with B in
it. When the spreadsheet says that it's making 7%,
that's what you care about.
That's what you buy.
And that it's got tenants and they've signed another 12-month lease, and that makes me happy, and the building and pest inspection comes back good. That is all good.
Well, you got to remember, why do you invest in property? You want the property to go up in value.
Yep,
that's right. Create equity, and you want it to be delivering good cash flow, so it's not costing you too much to hold it, and you've got that. So good. Anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. You check us out, smartpropertyinvestment.com.au. Follow us on Twitter or Facebook. If you want to follow me on Twitter at Philip Tarrant. Also, if you want to contact me, any questions or queries, editor at smartpropertyinvestment.com.au. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.